Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about crime dramas that I watch. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of The Blacklist. So this is a crazy episode. It has a lot of interesting things going down, so let's break everything down that went down. Well, first of all, the main blacklister in this episode is Nicholas T. Moore. Right off the bat, I kind of had a feeling that this whole thing was kind of like, I figured Red had an ulterior motive. It wasn't what I was thinking it was. Then basically the entire case was basically meant to keep Liz distracted while he looks for the duffel bag. I thought that was like, I thought maybe it was something like, oh, when it's all said and done, he'll get, to be fair, because this is one of the few cases he wasn't like hands-on with, it's clear because he didn't do anything at all. Like, he's usually involved with the cases, and besides, he made a pretty shabby job of trying to cover up, but Liz didn't really think of it, because for Liz, she's trying to get any angle up on being ahead of Red in any shape or form, so she took this opportunity. Essentially, it involves a girl named Maribel just coming out of the woods, and basically, long story short, like, the turn of events, like, because I was like, oh wow, they're being kept, like, oh, they're like, oh, basically they got this warped reality that, like, oh, there's these people known as the Olo, that basically the world was infected, that people who leave become infected, and they come back, they have to be purified by being burned. So it turns out that basically Nicholas actually was a novelist. He wrote a book called The Age of Contagion. It's this like book about like, oh, this disease spreading everywhere, and basically these people, these isolationists, lived most of their lives thinking it was reality. It seems like some of the elders knew, because I was like, some of these people look like they're old enough to know. Like, some of these people might have grew up in this situation, they were raised in it, or I'm not assuming everyone there was kind of raised in it, but I was like, the older people look like they're older than him, or at least the very same age, so it's like, it's not like they were born into this. So how it's like, no, it seems like they knew, but I guess it's because they believed in it, because his thought was kind of like, he had some weird out there thoughts about like the world coming to an end, that basically like, oh, modern society will be the destruction of the world or something like that. So because his mentality is so warped that he actually believed what he wrote, I guess, because in his own world he wanted to be like, I guess he believed it to some sense, because he abandoned his wife and just started living out in the woods like that. So there's that, just kind of isolated away from society. But I guess it's just, he also wanted to be special on some level, I guess. Like, he wanted to be the one that brings this. It's like, it's like, it borderlines almost like a cult in the way he just kind of filtered everything down and kind of made like, oh, people believe. Like I said, so many of those people grew up in this, and it's so sad because Maribel, like, she was about to be killed. Her mom was about to have to watch her die after she already had to watch her husband get killed because this whole infection thing. And it's just like, the moment it showed up, like, oh, the infection, I'm like, what is that exactly? I was like, that's BS, isn't it? There's like no infection or anything. It's like, it's sad. There had to be other people who knew about it, or maybe they were so like the ones who were wearing the gas mask. I assume that they were so indoctrinated that they just were like, no, like, what he says is gospel, what he says is true. So it's hard to escape that situation when you, like I said, you literally grew up in. I felt bad for that dude that was kind of like who like Aram kind of talked down. But the dude was kind of like, he was the last one kind of coming out, and then Nicholas shot him. We don't know if that dude died or not. It would suck, because like, he was trying to leave and Nicholas shot him, because it was like he was losing power. Like, it wasn't even about, oh, the infection, because even he knew everything he was saying was BS. But like I said, maybe he was so deluded he actually took it as truth. So maybe for him it's like, oh, it's like, if you're so okay, like, if you think that's true, just let them go, then let them be quote unquote infected and stuff like that. But like I said, I feel like it was more like a power hungry situation with him. But yeah, turns out this case had nothing to do with Reddington at all. Like I said, it was all for the purpose of keeping Liz occupied. Sadly, we did walk away with the situation. Sadly, Samara being kidnapped by this dude. Why? It seems like he was a contractor, like the dude. Also, interesting enough, that actor who plays Nicholas E. Moore is so interesting. Like, I don't know that actor's name, but you see him in so many things. I think the last thing I saw him in might have been season 1 of Daredevil. He was the God, what was his name? He was the money dude for a Fisk Hold operation. He was kind of the accountant, essentially. Was it Neeland or something like that? Leland, that's it. That. But he's done many other things too, but that's kind of one of the first things that came to my mind. But then there's the dude who kidnapped Samara. It's like, why did you do that? Does he know who Samara is, knowing she's an FBI agent and stuff like that? So is he trying to, like, or did someone pay him to kidnap? Like, I don't know. It's just like, because the thing is, he didn't just immediately dispose of her. He kept her, which begs the question. Because that's why I was kind of thinking, like, oh, that's before I was like, oh, like, this is all just a waste of time. I was wondering if that dude was hired by Reddington to kind of keep Liz even more distracted. And I mean, I thought it was kind of part of the case or whatever, and that Samara was actually with the guy that Reddington hired. That's immediately where my brain went, but it seems like that's not the case at all. So obviously, Red is dealing with some health issues in this episode. He's supposed to be taking things slow, not even supposed to be leaving, because the doctor's like, "Yo, you have a concussion from like last episode." So the fact is, they kind of went out of their way to make that a thing. Makes me go, yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be hitting Reddington hard throughout the rest of the season, I'd assume, but maybe it turned out to be nothing. Reddington's too focused on trying to find the duffel bag. I love that he went to that guard, Ronnie, and is like, yo, I kidnapped your car. He's like, I was actually thinking about kidnapping your wife, but then I heard like murmurs that like, oh, you actually love this car more than you love your wife. It's like, damn, that's a shame. Which I think the fact is his actions kind of show how true that is. Because he did what Reddington wanted, and Reddington went to trying to get in contact with Judson, Garvey's second in command, and it turns out he doesn't know where Garvey hid the duffel bag, but apparently he went to Costa Rica. That's potentially where it is. Which Reddington didn't go there because he went to talk to Jennifer, but Smokey's there. Which you saw that look on Smokey's face, like, oh, I get to go, because it's almost like you're not going there to work, you're going there to have fun. I see that smile on your face. You were super excited, like, no, you're gonna let me go by myself. I was like, what? So I doubt Smokey did. I mean, Smokey probably did. I mean, because he knows Reddington would be pissed if he didn't actually do any work. But I'm sure he's enjoying more luxuries in Costa Rica than just doing what he's told. But you had Reddington talking to Jennifer. Like, obviously last episode I kind of had my thoughts about like theories about this whole situation, so they're still there in the back of my mind, but this episode has kind of changed my mind a lot too, because the thing is with Reddington, you can never tell what's the truth and what's a lie, because basically he ends up talking, like, she has a sit down with her, and he has to sit down with her, and he explains the reason why he left her. It's like, that's the question that you really want to know the most. So I left you and your mom. It's like, well, and also because he didn't, like, just the fact is he phrased it as like, why your father left you, which is like, I can understand why he phrased it like that, but that also makes me go, you're not actually her dad, or that's my mindset. But he talks about the fact is he discovered the cabal, and then to protect his family, he stumbled across the cabal, and that's the reason why he got away from his family. Which, is that true? Maybe it is, but it's like I feel like he never really mentioned the cabal until like season 2/3, because like, I guess for him it's like the cabal was kind of doing their own thing, so he didn't care as long as it interfered with his business. The only reason why he ever cared about the cabal was like, well, the fact of the matter is Liz is involved. So that makes me wonder, like, is he lying to her? That's why I was like, wait, that's not true, right? Because I thought, I mean, you know, like I said, the cabal wasn't brought up until like season 3, until like they started messing with Liz, putting her real name out there, kind of putting a target on her back and stuff like that. They put her in that situation where she was on the run. That's when he got really uppity and pissed about the cabal. So, and it's also something that Jennifer never brought up either, too. It's like the whole Lizzie situation. Never once did that kind of come across. So I don't know whether she's like, you know, I guess she didn't care to know, but it's just kind of interesting, like, I guess her main focus was her and her mom, so it's kind of like, why would I, you know, worry about such things? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to me. But when she brought up her mom, Naomi, like, because it turns out Naomi's dead, I was like, oh, that sucks. And then she's like, yeah, like, apparently she got shot twice coming out her apartment. And it's like, yeah, it's like the last time it's like, yeah, she got kidnapped by one of your people. She was missing a finger. I was like, that sounds familiar. I had to look it up because I was like, hey, is Naomi who I think it is? I looked it up. It's the character Mary Louise Parker played like a while back. Because that was like during the Berlin days. So that had to be like season 1. So I was like, wow, no wonder I didn't remember that. I was like, wow, like, had Naomi come up in the story subsequently since then? I looked it up to make sure, and I'm pretty sure that is the same person I'm thinking of, Mary Louise Parker's, you know, from VIDS, kind of thing she's kind of best known for, I think. Also the Red movies. That's the same character she, you know, so it's like, huh. And so he apologizes, because like, oh, everything I did was to protect you and I cut off ties with you because the fact is showing that you're not important to me, that I just abandoned you, meant that I saved you from it all. But she goes, my mom's the one who cut herself away from me because she knew that eventually you'd come back into our lives and that you'd want to know where I was. But that's why I'm kind of hesitant and thinking like, but he has to be lying. I still believe he can't be Reddington. He can't be her dad. I just got that inkling because it's like, the fact of the matter is you didn't keep an eye on them. It's like, you were told to stay away from Lizzie. You still kept an eye on her. You came directly into her life. So it's like, I'm sure the Naomi situation is a big reason why you wouldn't, but also the fact is that he was kind of like that, Jennifer was like, please promise you'll never come back into my life. And he's like, yes. I feel like a dad, like, how stubborn he has been about staying out of Liz's life, and you're willing to do the same thing. You're not willing to do the same for Jennifer. That makes me wonder, like, because I'm thinking, like, I still, like I said, like, this episode kind of changed my minds about that, but it also seems like maybe that's not the case, But there's still a part of me that feels like he's not really Reddington, that he's just playing this role, because it just seemed like he feels bad about it because it's like Naomi died. Like, he probably thought by killing their dad and assuming the role, any backlash or any problems would be okay. Like, it all fall on him. He'd be the target of it all. So it'd protect the real Reddington's family. Like I said, this is still my mindset about it, but I'm kind of faltering on ideas like, oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe things aren't what I think they are. But I mean, who knows? There's still more to tell about this whole situation. So Jennifer says stay out of my life, but who's to say, Liz might try and talk to her and stuff like that. I don't know. Because Red believed her about the whole situation of her not having it bad, which is like, well, is that true? Does he really, is it because he wholeheartedly believes her, or is it just because he wants to believe her, so he believes her? I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm very interested to see where like that all goes. But obviously, the big thing going forward is where's Samar? They're getting help from Reddington, because from an indirect way, I'm sure this isn't why Liz is asking for his help, but it's like indirectly it's kind of Reddington's fault that she got kidnapped. It's because he sent them this case, which it needed to be solved, yes, but it's like it's not one of their blacklist episodes. I mean, who's to say this whole Nicholas T thing doesn't turn into something else? I mean, he actually got arrested, which doesn't, once again, it's something you have to think about. It's kind of funny. It doesn't always happen with blacklisters. Also, I kind of didn't expect Ian to actually be dead. I thought maybe they were able to kind of save him near the end potentially, but it's like, no, he died. So, along with him, all the secrets, hence why Red's going through so much to try and find a duffel bag. It almost seemed like he probably was trying to tell something to Liz, but I don't know if he actually was able to tell her or not before he died last episode. But the main reason why Liz goes to him is Red is because he has the connection. He has eyes and ears all over the kind of criminal worlds, people all over the place. So it's like he might be able to dig up something that the FBI can't, because they can't even track down who the dude is. There's no records of being able to ID the guy who actually took Samar. So. Because I was actually kind of surprised that's what came up, because I was almost halfway expecting Liz to be like, oh, you going somewhere? I'll go with you. I thought that's how the episode was going to end, because I didn't know she got the whole thing about Samar yet, but it's like, no. So probably going to be something we see next episode too, is like when this whole situation with Samar is kind of resolved, that when he tries to go to Costa Rica, it's like, oh, how about I take that journey with you? It's like, she's not going to let a Red out of her sights until she finds, like, oh, you're going to go there? Then I'll take this business trip or take some time off from work, So ultimately we'll have to wait and see how everything kind of plays out. So like I said, I'm very interested to see what happens in the next episode. And also to quickly find out whether any of what I thought, last episode, the little thoughts and theories video I made about it, whether any of that is correct or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.